age. The cell can be studied under a separate branch called cell biology. This cell biology purely deals with the shape, size, history, growth, development, various functioning of the cell. Hence, it is studied under a separate branch called cell biology. Let's move on to the size of the cell. It ranges from 1 to 100 micrometers. I'm talking about the cell which is present inside each and every living organism. When we move on to the discovery of the cell, this was first discovered by the Robert Hooke in 1665. He observed there are some minute structure present inside an organism which can carry out so many functions compared to the function carried out by a single organism. Based on his findings, two scientists such as Matthias Jacobs Claden and Theodore Schwann, they proposed a theory called cell theory. According to their theory, they said each and every organism is made up of one or more cell, and these cells come up from pre-existing cell. One cell can give rise to another cell. There should be a mother cell that can give rise to a daughter cell. Based on this concept, there is a famous saying called Hominis e cellulae cellula. Now we can move on to types of the cell. This is a general classification of the cell. Cell is divided into two types: prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell contain microorganism. That means cell is there, cell contains genetic material, but the genetic material is not covered by the nuclear membrane, hence it's called pro. Bacteria and other minor organism can be placed under prokaryotic. Next, move on to eukaryotic. The word eu refers to true nucleus, where the nucleus is covered by the nuclear membrane. This eukaryotic is divided into plant cell and animal cell. In these two, we can observe all the specialized activity performed by each and every cell. Now we shall move on to the overview of the cell. This is a small simple diagram I have taken. This indicates the animal cell. I have tried to cover all the components present inside each and every animal cell. Now we will move on to what are the parts that are present in them and what is the function carried out by them. Here I have labeled it with the numeral, and below that the numerals are provided with the respective labelings and the colors for the easy identification. First one is the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane, here it is compared to the skin that is present throughout our body. Each and every cell is covered by the plasma membrane that protects the cell from the external environment. It will not allow unnecessary elements to enter into the cell or any material to go out of the cell. It's the protective covering of the body. Second one, here you can see here the purple color one, it's called cytoplasm. It is called the matrix of the cell, fluid matrix of the cell. It contains proteins, lipids, water, etc. Essential material. It acts like a ground substance. Third one is called nucleus. The nucleus is the controlling center of the cell. We can correlate nucleus to the head of the family. Head of the family will take all the decision for the welfare of the family. Similarly, nucleus is going to take all the decision, control the cell, when it has to work, when it has not to work, when it has to synthesize DNA, when it has to produce the enzyme, when it has to synthesize necessary material for the normal functioning of the cell. Inside the cell nucleus, you can see a blue color ones labeled as 4, that is nucleolus. Nucleolus is called a ribosome factory of the cell. It synthesizes the ribosome that will be released into the cytoplasm for the production of the proteins. Next, fifth one are the ribosomes. These pink color ones are called as ribosomes. These ribosomes are called protein factory of the cell. They are involved in the process of translation and help in the synthesis of the polypeptide chain, finally called as the proteins, that is responsible for the repairing system of our body. Next, move on to the sixth one here, microtubules. The red color one, you can see rod-like structure. They are called cytoskeletons. These cytoskeleton give a proper shape to the cell. Circular, oval, hexagonal, etc. Different shape of the cell is due to the skeletal framework present in the cytoplasm of the cell. Next, seventh one is called mitochondria. A mitochondria is a very important structure, cell organelle, that is going to produce energy boosters in our body in the form of ATP. We can call ATP as the energy currency of the cell. This mitochondria, hence it is called powerhouse of the cell. It's going to provide all sorts of energy that is responsible to carry out our physical activity. Next, the eighth one here, you can see the flattened tube-like structures that represent one above the other pile up of plates. We can see they are called as Golgi body. They are involved in packing the materials, whatever it is synthesized from the endoplasmic reticulum. There is a connection between Golgi body and endoplasmic reticulum. So next one is centrioles. See, you can see the flower-like structure here. The orangish one, they are called as the centrioles. These centrioles are only used during the process of cell division. Whether it may be mitosis or meiosis, in any of the process, the centriole comes into the action, help in moving the chromosomes towards the opposite poles. The next one is 10th and 11th. Both are similar, related. Rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. You can make out the difference here. Rough and smooth. Rough is covered by a blue colored dots. The smooth doesn't contain the blue color dots, and the diagram you can make out here. Look at the endoplasmic reticulum. On its surface is having some dots. These dots are called ribosome, hence they are called rough endoplasmic reticulum. Here, these are the one more type of smooth endoplasmic reticulum that doesn't contain the ribosome. Both of them are involved in synthesizing the proteins, polypeptide chain, enzymes, hormones, etc. that is required for our body. Last but not the least, lysosome. These brown color ones you can see here are the lysosome. The lysosomes are considered as suicide bag of the cell. They are mainly involved in self-destruction mechanism of the cell. If a cell is infected by any bacteria, pathogen, or if it has damaged, automatically a signal will be sent to the ribosome to release the hydrolytic enzyme. Once the enzyme is released, it is going to kill the cell by itself. That is called as self-destruction of the cell. Therefore, we call lysosome as suicide bag of the cell. We have a protein factory, we have a ribosome factory, we have a controlling center, powerhouse of the cell, suicide bag of the cell, etc. So many components are present in each cell, and it is responsible for supporting the functioning of the body. Hence, we consider cell as the basic unit of the life. I hope you all have understood. Thank you so much.